all the malls, you have to wear your mask. Side if you go in a pharmacy, you have to wear your mask. Side if you're traveling, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the transportation hub, you have to wear your mask. If you're going to church side, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the school side, you're wearing your mask. If you go to a barber salon, you go to the theater, you're wearing your mask. Which dum-dum in Trinidad and Tobago will go in a theater and buy a popcorn and a juice and sit down and wear a mask? Dance! If every councillor go through their constituency, do video clips like this and send it for us, I'm gonna be so happy just to play it on our program on a Wednesday night. You know why I would be happy? I will be filled with joy in my heart. You know why? Because the councillor is getting off their butts and they are actually going and doing some live video shoots. Real Talk took the initiative to find out suppliers of wheat in the world that National Flour Mill could go to. So now Romano is saying the company is not going to raise any price in the near future. Why? Why? Is it because the S-boss and they realize now that, hey, it is in the public domain that we could go right Mexico and buy flour and wheat? We could go right China and buy wheat? I am about change. And thus far, Real Talk is very effective in Trinidad and Tobago coming towards making changes for the citizens. Public Utility Minister Marvin Gonzalez have urged the population to appreciate and be grateful for the availability of the utilities. This, as Gonzalez recalled, time in his life when he had to fetch water using a bucket from a nearby river. Gonzalez, I want you to understand something. I want you, Mr. Gonzalez, to understand something. You are being paid thousands of dollars by public utility, by the finance ministry, to govern WASA. Come on. To govern WASA, I want you to understand that you ain't going in no office for no free code. You are being paid. Do not tell me that I, Saieed, have to be grateful for the water I get it. Let me tell you something, Gonzalez. Every 4 months, I have to pay $400 and I get water once a bloody month. So don't come on a media briefing and say, Saieed, you have to be contented. You have to be happy. Marvin, the next best thing for you to do is to resign and get the hell out of here. Trinidad and Tobago, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host Saieed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. Remember, we are live every night from Monday to Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. live on Synergy Network with a rerun the next day. So, as we go straight into our story tonight, a Central Trinidad businessman who was denied a firearm user's license, FUL, wants the Commissioner of Police, Earl Haywood Christopher, to say why his application was not approved. The businessman attorney filed a judicial review application, which was his third lawsuit related to his FUL application in 2020. In June, a High Court judge ordered the commissioner to decide in 14 days and order exemplary damage to be assessed by a master. Before that, he brought a claim under Freedom of Information Act for documents relating to his application. The businessman now says he is entitled to write in reasons for denying his application and intends to ask the court to declare so and order her to explain. Now, let me just say something. In June, a High Court judge ordered the commissioner to decide in 14 days and ordered exemplary damage to be assessed by a master. So you're going to tell me the court ordered earlier in June month to make a decision in September and a decision wasn't made? So is Earla above the court? I don't know, I'm just asking. I'm just asking. I'm just asking. The businessman attorney filed a judicial review application, which was his third lawsuit related to his application in 2020. 3 times. 3 times. And the Commissioner of Police cannot answer. They're doing well. They're doing well. Now, I'll tell you something. She should be placed by the will of God in a position where she must be dependent on somebody for an answer. And they must spin her like a dice. I wonder how they would feel. You see, I'll tell you something. People in position just feel God sleeping, you know. People in position just feel God dead. That's what I just feel. They just feel God dead. But nevertheless, now here they say, in his review application, the businessman said, in his case, there was a delay. For over 3 years, he said, in all those circumstances, how can I be denied? His original application said his FUL application was and continued to be out of concern and a desperate need to protect his family after being the victim of repeated robberies. The application also said the businessman has been followed to and from the bank several times. So what the Commissioner of Police saying about this? Is she above the law? Is she above the law? You see, sometimes I just want to understand why Earla like this, you know. Why? What got her to be like this? It's because the public can't pull her string like a puppet? I'm asking. Because this is a second term and still crime is out of control. She can't seem to get a handle on crime. She can't. Who is pulling the puppet string? That's what we want to know. Who is pulling the puppet string? Minister of Finance. Moving along, viewers. The Minister of Finance or a minister in the Ministry of Finance, Brian Manning, have stated that there will soon be an online payment option for those tired of waiting in long lines to pay property tax. I believe you are a little bit too late. A little bit too late. The deadline for payment of property tax is supposed to be September 30th. Today, I believe, is the 18th. 18th of September, Navin? 18th? Today is the 18th of September. About 13 days again to go before September 30th. And they're now bringing out our online payment. A little too late. Like I will always say, we're backward. We're backward. And that proves it, we're backward. It shows that we're backward. You all implement property tax. You all implement security at BIR office. You all implement online payment. But you don't want people to pay property tax by a certain deadline. You want thousands of people to go in from BIR office with money in their possession and stand up like some beggars. Like some beggars. Trinidad and Tobago, it's sad, you know. It's sad how the ministries have you all like fools. And like clowns. Like all that stupid, all that dotish, all that dokedam, like all that never went to school, all they had no sense. All I know is watching pot and plate. All I know is digging a drain. That's how the government is have all you stupid. It's sad, you know. I doesn't like to be like this on national television, you know. I doesn't like to express how we are in Trinidad, you know. We operate like we foolish. We never went to school. How many smart people are there in Trinidad? Or how many foolish people are there in Trinidad? Clungenbert have the smart one, the dotish one, the doke one, all are we in the hot sun paying property tax. One man have all like that. One man. And yet we can't seem to understand. Why we paying property tax again? Imagine Clungenbert tell you your property have an annual rental value. Your residential property. Your property, you know. Yours. Not your grandfather one, not your grandmother one. The one you take loan to build. Clungenbert tell you if you rent that, you can make so much money, and he taxing you on that. Who is the bigger clown here now? Tell me. Who is the bigger clown? I decided to hit all real hard tonight. All those people I see lining up by BIR, the young one, the old one, the middle-aged one, they line up by BIR. Why? Because Clungenbert bully all into paying $5,000 before they pay all the property tax. And we like some stupid clown running by BIR office. Stand up for your rights. Stand up for your rights. The man brought out legislation and law and then he imposed property tax on all you. While he's being exempted. And then Clungenbert will say, now we're working for the people. How are you working for them? By bullying them? Do you think I'm going to pay property tax? I keep telling all you, Saieed Ali will not be paying property tax. I don't care what they say. I don't care what penalty they bring out. I am not paying it. You can tell me a man come and snap your house from in front of your house, snap up a tear, and giving you a rental value on that? Don't say. Manning said there are 400,000 homes registered, with some 175,000 people receiving notice that they need to pay their property tax. If persons have not received valuation notice, they are not eligible to pay at this time. Listen to this.
Yes. There are about 400,000 eligible residential properties in Trinidad and Tobago. We have sent out tax notices for about 175,000 at this point in time. And if you only have to pay currently if you have received a property tax notice. If you have not, then you don't have to pay right now. There will be further tax notices sent out in the future.
So now Trinidad and Tobago. Question about the long lines at the 9 payment center and the complaint over the lack of online payment option. Manning said that it is being addressed. Other methods of payment will include online option that people can pay through their bank branch or online. When will that happen? You all bully people into paying property tax. You all ain't put that system in place. Young one, old one, middle-aged one, everybody out in the sun by BIR. Let me tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago. When would we wake up and smell the coffee now? When? When? Clongambo tell you all, if you all don't pay property tax, they will seize your property. So I want to ask Clongambo something. Was Clongambo anywhere wrong when I built my house? Was Clongambo anywhere around when I was saving money to build my house? Was Clongambo anywhere around helping the workman and them to move a piece of steel from point A to point B? No, I'm asking him. $2.6 billion gone missing. They cannot give an account for it. That's taxpayers' money. But they bring out things now for we to pay more tax. I look like Mother. I look like Mother Dodo head biggest son. Tell me, Trinidad and Tobago, tell me. When I tell her the right thing, outside you're bashing PNM, is that bashing? If you don't pay a property tax, they come in and seize your house and they go sell it. Really? One thing I will tell all you. If they have a man in Trinidad and Tobago to come and seize property and say I season that. Trust me, I know what I'm telling all you. And if all you are citizens, all you're paying tax, you can't go to the road to drive your vehicle on. You're paying water rate. You cannot even get water in your pipe 24 hours. You're paying tea and tech. When current go and they come back with a rush, you blow your appliances. Any refunds? Any refunds? You're paying tax on everything. And they're even taxing the money you're working for. Brian, he added that the government is well aware of the long lines at a payment center, and this too is being worked on. How are you working out the long lines? How? Tell me how you're working out a long line. Just like clock in Bird. Listen to this.
Yes. We are continuing to develop other methods of payment. One of them will include an online option where persons can pay maybe through their banking branches or online from their computers or phones, and that is being rolled out. So we are well aware of the lines that have been seen at many of the revenue offices across the country, and it's something that we are working to take care of going forward. So we are aware of the situation, and we are working to offer a solution.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, I want you to understand what I'm about to tell you now. Listen this. Manning further noted that the government did not expect a rush to pay, but said some payment center may not be fully equipped as it pertains to staffing to address the number of persons flocking to the venue to pay their taxes. Let me tell you something. You see this statement? This is a Duncy illiterate head statement they make. And Clongambo put Manning to make it. Instead of Clung but make it. It's sad that Manning take this train up to make these statements. It's sad. They wasn't expecting that rush. They give you a date by the 30th of September 2024, but they wasn't expecting that rush. They wasn't expecting that rush. The bully you, they're telling you that you have to pay $5,000. You understand? $5,000 a bully you into paying if you don't pay property tax, but they didn't know. Come back. Now, ask why online payment was not done before. Manning said, it is not a simple situation and it is now being developed. So you see, we lackadaisical in this country, we backward, we done. We gone. You give us a date, you charge a penalty, but you have absolutely nothing in place. Absolutely nothing in place. And we don't see head people now in this country running to pay property. Imagine you run to pay property tax. That Imbo say you have to pay it on your property, otherwise they will seize it. Who more stupid? Who more stupid? We or he? I'm asking, who more stupid? We the citizens or Clongenbert? Viewers, let's listen to this last video.
It's not as simple a situation as that. It is something that is being developed at this point in time. You have to remember there are many other situations happening at the same time. You're also moving towards the TTRA, other things. So it was very complex to have done that previously. But we are working to get it done going forward. So that's the most I can say at this point in time. It will happen and it's going to be implemented.
Right. So let me ask this question then. You're saying that the online option is coming. I gather that it's not going to come before the deadline of September 30th. Can we then expect an extension of that deadline?
I could not say at this point in time. That is to be determined by the administration.
Is there an extension? No! Viewers, we're going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, no notice received, no penalty. We're going to discuss that after this break.
Become a member of Real Talk Credit Union, now located at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chagonas. Open a fixed deposit with Real Talk Investments and get 4% on interest with interest payment being paid up front. Get in contact with us at 238-6716, 231-6219 or 339-1670. Real Talk Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited. Plant a seed today for a better tomorrow.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtor Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtor Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chagonas or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery. At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Trinidad and Tobago, welcome back to Real Talk. Remember, we at Real Talk Financing, we are offering you 4% on fixed deposit with your interest up front. Remember that, viewers, you are getting your interest up front. We are the only financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago that is doing that presently. Why wait for 10 years when you could enjoy your interest up front? We are moving with the time. You need cash today. The Ministry of Finance, Claribud, is seeking to clarify that those who have not yet received their notice of assessment for property tax from the Board of Inland Revenue will not face penalties and interest for failure to pay. He said, unless the property owner receives a notice of assessment calculated at the reduced rate of 2% of annual rental value, he or she is not required to pay. So you understand that, viewers? After hammering it, you understand? They made changes now. Before, everybody run and pay property tax. Now, if you ain't get your assessment, don't rush to the office. Don't. Ahmed said he had sought legal option from the BIR and the Treasury Solicitors Department in his ministry that if they failure to pay the tax did not result from the default of taxpayers, then the person is not liable to penalties and interest. Allah doesn't wait, Allah doesn't listen to Saeed. This has happened to Allah when Allah don't listen. Everybody wants to run, go and pay. However, Senator Maraj asked for clarity by taxpayers' confusion surrounding the payment of property tax, where Imbert could indicate if September 30th deadline applies to homeowners who have not yet received the notice of property tax assessment. Imbert said the rate of property tax on residential property will reduce to 2%. So if someone has received an assessment using the old rate of 3% of the annual rental value, it is invalid. He said that if the Board of Inland Revenue has been unable to deliver the tax assessment notice to taxpayers, then taxpayers is not at fault. But legal option is that the taxpayer is not at fault and will not be subject to pay any penalties and interest. Listen to this.
And I have received an opinion emanating from the BIR and also the Treasury Solicitors Department in my ministry that if the failure to pay the tax did not result from the default of the taxpayer, then the person is not liable to penalties and interest.
So, if I did not get any assessment or I did not get a second assessment, am I entitled to not pay until I get that assessment? Thank you.
Minister of Finance.
I can deal with those two questions. The rate of property tax for residential properties was reduced to 2%. So if someone has received an assessment using the old rate of 3%, it's invalid. Okay, so that deals with that. The default of the taxpayer I'm talking about here is that if the Board of Inland Revenue has been unable to deliver a tax assessment notice to the taxpayer, then the taxpayer is not at fault. You understand? So you have not received a tax assessment notice from the Board of Inland Revenue. The legal opinion is that you are not at fault and you will not be subject to any penalties and interest. You have to receive it first.
Now, what I would love Maharaj to ask is that if a BIR officer or Inland Revenue officer or a valuator come and front your property and snap your property and go back to their office and send you a form, do you have to pay property tax based on that picture? I hope next meeting in Parliament, the Senator Maharaj would ask that question. Trinidad and Tobago, let me tell you something. I have been telling you, do not rush to pay property tax. Since I found out that they want to implement that, I have been telling you, do not rush. By you not rushing and voicing your concerns concerning property tax, they moved it from 3% to 2%. They have 400,000 houses in Trinidad and Tobago. And according to Manning, 175,000 have received property tax assessment. Do not rush to pay property tax. Since eyesight have started hammering in boot on national television with property tax, you see how much adjustment they made to it? You all taking a good look? You all seen how much adjustment they have made to property tax since I started with this unembedded case? Trinidad and Tobago, do not rush to pay property tax. You are being bullied with a legislation into paying property tax. You are not communicating. Let me tell you something. All you need to communicate. You all need to understand. You all need to understand Trinidad and Tobago. Understand what I'm telling you all. You all were bullied into paying property tax through a legislation. Through a legislation. How many businessmen in Trinidad and Tobago cannot get their tax refund? How much? Hundreds of businessmen in Trinidad and Tobago cannot get their tax refund. And there's always some new tax. Buy a tax. Buy a tax. Buy a what? Buy a tax again. But we're rushing. You're rushing what? To save your property that you take a loan to build? You think Colombo could sell some clung to say, well, we see inside property? You think that could happen in Trinidad? Think again. Think again. That cannot happen under the sun while I living in this country. That ain't happening. Trust me what I'm telling you. And but noted that taxpayers have to get a tax assessment based on 2% rate of property tax. And if they did not get it, then they are not in default and they will not be subjected to penalty and interest. I'll listen to this now.
And with respect to the ones who getting got a 3% and a 2%, there weren't too many of those, but there were some. The ones that they got at the 3% rate are not valid. So the taxpayers have to get a tax assessment based on a 2% rate of property tax. And if they don't get it, then they are not in default and they will not be subject to penalties and interest. Is that clear?
That is very much clearer. Thank you.
Everybody rushing, everybody rushing, everybody rushing to pay what? To pay pay what? You see how ease by ease I'm making adjustments? You know why? Because I'm highlighting an unfinished issue. That is what I am doing. An unfinished issue I'm highlighting. By the 30th of September, everybody in Trinidad should pay property tax. Pay whating? Pay what? I want you to understand something. I really, really want you to understand something. And I've been saying this time after time after time. Clung and boot went to the parliament with a legislation to bully you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, to pay property tax. And if you cannot understand that, well, then you wouldn't understand it again. I've been saying this over and over and over. Listen to this. Some law lords in another country, in another country, such as England, said it was okay. They said it was okay to set up the revenue authority in Trinidad and Tobago, so that if you don't pay property tax, they come inside your house and take in your television, your couch, your radio, your TV, your fridge, your washing machine, and sell it. Are you letting some English people bully earlier? I'm asking you, are you willing to let some English people bully earlier? Call a good night.
Program, man, and grateful you highlighting that little story about your father, man. Great as you, man. Great as the program. Well done. You know, property tax, you have championed this. Almost every night you come on your program, you're highlighting this and champion this. And it is reaching many, many people, Not all, but many people. And you know who's supposed to be doing this and looking after our interests? The opposition leader, the opposition UNC.
Yes.
And they are in support of all of this and giggling at us, when they're supposed to be working and doing this for us. Anyway, Mr. Said, the mayor of Chaguanas, I hope he's listening. I know you and he have a good relationship and maybe you could pick up the issue. And I would like him to come on Ramsaran Street and stand up and see the sort of lawlessness, recklessness that is taking place with drivers on Ramsaran Street. So my advice to him is to put some humps on Ramsaran Street. There's a medical institution there. Well, of course, no building that is rented in this country, citizens could go and get parking, but the citizens are paying it, and they won't pay property tax, but you can't get parking nowhere, right? So that health institution there, put one, before, let's say you're heading west on Ramsaran Street, put one before, and, one after the facility, because I see some driving taking place there.
Sad boy.
I want to know if the mayor is going to wait until somebody lost their life there by these reckless, lawless drivers that we have in this country. So mayor, wake up before I call you a waste of time, lazy man. Don't let me have to do that. So Mr. Said, I want you to look at this. And to Mr. Dial Singh, like everybody in this country, victim of crime, have to change the name to Dial Singh and call members. Because when call members sound lousy for the whole country, the communication system went down. Within minutes, the only persons that robbed Dial Singh. That is injustice and that is wrong. Look at people have been robbed in this country and you telling me, although not one citizen of this country was saddened about his incident. Everybody look at social media, comment, everybody's happy. And you know what they're saying? Somebody, the comment saying they should take his oxygen, just as when we see when they go and invade people who want to do to them, they should take his oxygen away. And they say the next one should be input for all of this crime is committing against us. So anyway, let them wait, and the longest rope have an end. And when you commit crime and do wrongdoing, you will have to pay for it. Mr. Tai, God bless you, man. Great program. Keep up the great work.
Thank you, my friend. concerning Terrence. Me I go lie, this week was a Terrence week, you know, boy. Tall? Last week into this week, Terrence week. Police have held 2 suspects in connection with the robbery involving Minister of Health Terrence Dialsing MP. Police officers say the interagency task force went to St. Paul Street where they saw a blue Hyundai Elantra, which they believe was involved in the robbery. Police intercepted the car and held 2 male suspects. The men were handed over to the St. Joseph Police, who are continuing the investigation. Minister Dialsing was robbed at gunpoint on Tuesday as he sat in a bar in his constituency, or by a bar in his constituency of St. Joseph. A 50-second video that surfaced on social media, the health minister could be heard speaking on a cell phone to someone recapping the ordeal. Listen to this.
The car? But they have a car? They had a car?
Minister, so I am in St. Joseph in my constituency, 5 o'clock, hot sun, bright sun, sitting outside Nyabingi bar opposite the church with a constituent. 2 fellas walk up to me, put a gun to my head, and rob me of my bracelet. Just letting you know where crime has reached. No, not the police or anything. You don't have to get. I'm just letting you know.
So Trinidad and Tobago, Dialsing 66 explained 2 persons walked up to him and robbed him of his bracelet. Made a phone call telling somebody on the other end, you see where crime has reached? I am just informing you. Let's see, I wonder if that phone call was made to you. Huh? I wonder. So Trinidad and Tobago, if Minister Dialsing could say, you see where crime reached? If he could use a statement like that, imagine what we the citizens have been going through all the time. Imagine that. About 3.5 years ago, they made an attempt to kidnap my son. I knew how it felt. I know how it felt. Crime knocked on my door. So I know how it feels. And since then, I have taken a different toll. I have flipped that chapter in my life where it's like, no more good boy again. Come around me foolish, I'll show you how to be foolish. Play a jump in my fence, I will show you what will happen to you inside it. Let me see which mother good son will end up in my property. Lifeless. So the Dialsing now got a taste of crime. He now got a taste. Lucky they didn't strip him naked. Yeah? Thank God they strip him naked. Thank God they bust some bellows behind his head. Thank God he still had a cell phone. Remember when home invasion take place and I go into your house, there is deal with you? Raping your wife, raping your daughter, beating everybody in the house. Remember how the news say it? Husband was beaten, wife was beaten, daughter was raped. And but lucky they didn't put me in trunk of a car. Oh, Saido said that he's a minister. He's a human being just like me. He just have a position. That is all. That is all. Thank God he slap him. Thank God he had no boss mouth and no a teeth missing. Thank God for that. Thank God. That's what we saying, thank God. What will I say? pray for divine intervention. The other thing praying and he get robbed. Your boy the other thing praying and he get robbed. Imagine that, eh? We must pray for a divine intervention, Navin. Let's say pray for divine intervention. The other thing praying every morning and he get robbed. Breaking news, home invasion in Tabakit. A few minutes ago. Home invasion. So, I wonder if the IATF could go up in Tabakit and get these fellas and them like that. That could happen, Terrence. Call a good night. Go right ahead, your life.
Well, I'm sorry, like the other thing, wake up when I'm on in the face, boy. You finally realize how bad crime is when I'm on.
Watch man, the man take out the phone call. I just letting you know how crime is in the country. Watch that. Hey, the other thing we are lucky there beat up the tail, you know.
But like that privacy screen here, boy. Hey, you can have call there like that. I think you want to have more phone, yeah. But anyhow, I was looking at certain things, right? Listen, this contractor who they paid is $112 million to do that house, this project is.
I was following it up.
Yeah, it's falling down right now. So they had to go and spend more taxpayers' money now to rebuild the houses, right?
That was broken down.
Right? Listen to me, they had to go and spend money now to rebuild the houses. And Rural Munila want to find out how much money they pay the contractor. So on top of that, so they take we money and pay the man to build that rubbish.
Yep.
And then they have to pay somebody else so they come and break it up back and build it up.
Build it back again.
So how does it work, you know, now? This is the reason why the country have no money there.
Correct.
I ask this question here because I'm looking at this St. Joseph school and all too. The school flood out. They spent $10 million on the school.
Hey, boy.
And the school flood out. Who money is that spending?
We money.
This is the main reason why I keep telling people do not pay no property tax because it's squandering the taxpayers' money. This is what they do inside. They only wasting the money, they're giving their friends, their family, their finances, whereby there's all the contracts. The people coming and doing that stuff, study. They might have no certain quality control, people coming to check the work, and then they come and pay the people taxpayers' money. Everybody's in our food.
Correct.
And so it keep going. And then they expect we know the citizens that working and paying all the taxes, PAYE, then everything we buy, we pay back on to come and pay. All year, a tax to live in the house, we work and sacrifice to do. Something has to be wrong with these people, something has to be wrong with them. But what I want to find out too, are any of these MPs and ministers and all these fellas and them, are they exempted from property tax to them to pay the tax like everybody else?
Every one of them in, how would they say, exempted from all taxes.
So them don't have to pay no taxes, just we the set of idiots have to pay.
Weak lungs, yes.
And then it's a bunch of who's super stupid, running in front of the line to stand up in the hot sun race, to sit on a chair.
Correct.
For the people to pay the money.
Correct.
And then they're making it bad for everybody in the country, right? But people need to wake up, I like what you just tell them, you know. People need to wake up and see what's in front of them, you know. But I'm telling you, 5 years from today, they can't pay that tax. Plenty of people will be out in the streets now.
I'm telling you.
They need to know what's going on. And before I go outside, I was just now reading an article there for the Shoguna's West End thing, right? In Champali talking about no fences with the opposition in that thing. Partner, let me tell you something. If it wasn't for she, they would have never recreated city. Let me point blank. They would have never been.
Correct is right.
Let me make it clear one time. Let me tell you something. I live in the constituency. Since that man is the MP, I never see that man walk this constituency. But he want to talk about mending fences and all kind of things. This next election, he can go so, you know, we don't really want to see that one side. Anyway, side, you enjoy it.
Thank you, my friend. So Trinidad and Tobago, 30th of September is the deadline day for tax, and I believe budget will also be read on the 30th of September. I believe. Budget coming out, things going up again. All they're going to do, all they continue paying taxes. Do not stand up. Let me tell you something. The union leaders getting pay only to stand up when work is concerned. Only to stand up where work is concerned. If the union leaders of this country love their workers so much, I want them to understand that the job, the payment is being taxed. And not long from now, we will have more crime taking place in this country because more and more people will be out of a job and more people would not be able to pay taxes. What are union leaders for again? Only for your job? What about for the well-being of you, the worker? What about standing up on your behalf and saying too much taxes? What about that? Call a good night.
Mr. Saieed.
Go right ahead, my friend, you're live.
Yes. So after that situation with the thing, who got robbed and whatnot, I had a reservation, I had the feelings and whatnot, but then I realized to myself, but you know what? It could have been me who got robbed.
Correct.
And nobody, people are supposed to do this. It's a crime committed against the man. But what gets me pissed off is when you say, this is where crime reaches in this country. What galaxy from all of it?
Thank you, my friend. He now wake up. That's why I say, Terrence lucky. Terrence lucky that didn't bust him out. Terrence lucky that didn't hit him some bellas wrong in head. Terrence lucky that didn't slap him down. I am aware as a minister I am talking about. I am fully aware he is the Minister of Health. I acknowledge that. But Terrence Dialsing is very lucky he didn't get abused like some of us. Very lucky. He could have go home to his family with a teeth missing and some bust head and a break nose. The man praying and he still get robbed. Ola, the man praying and the man still get robbed. That's why I just tell people, come wrong side, and I will cause you to see things different. I just thank God that He blessed me with a spiritual gift, you know. I'm telling you. I just thank God for that, you know. And for a season like this, I am even more thankful. Even more thankful. And I am proud as a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, as a father and a businessman, to stand up for Trinbagonians. I am proud of that. I'm standing up for my country. I'm standing up for my people. I'm standing up for we black people. I didn't born in England, you know. I didn't born in the USA, and I didn't born in Germany, you know. I born in Trinidad, a third world country where black people live. And I am proud of myself for doing this. And for you black people who they say Saieed bashing, I'm bashing my own black people in our country who even care about our country. So don't feel all your white, all those black Trinidadians. Call a good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead.
Saieed, what makes the thing so classical or special?
Nothing.
That he can't get robbed.
Nothing.
But he lucky he get a soft rob. Look what we're going through in this country, Saieed.
Correct.
They're coming in your house, they're beating your top off, they're taking everything from you. On top of that, they're shooting you. He gets away from the bullet. He should be saying thank God.
Yep.
Because them fellas are making joke out here. Because these people have this country like Bangla. The place hard, all you're talking about, all you have things for youth, and this for youth, and register with the Ministry of Education, they have this. So they're not paying them. So how do you want them to get to do those courses? For free? No, it's not free. Tell the public that these young people have to pay, and if they're unemployed, they cannot bloody well pay.
Correct.
The parents have to find the money, or somebody has to find it and give them to go and do these courses to qualify themselves.
Correct.
They're not even giving them a stipend that will help them to travel to go to these places, right? But everybody driving their Range Rover and their Audi and their Mercedes Benz and have their chauffeurs to park up all in the middle of the road. You want to park and then ministry vehicle blocking because they're dropping the minister and all this kind of nonsense going on. I mean, he's a human being, but on the other hand, all you're up in there handing down what? Injustice to us. Property tax.
Yes.
This time, all the years gone by, Rowley didn't know we had to pay property tax when the money was flowing. People had to send their children to school, side property tax, light bill. I hear Gonzales say, let the public pay.
Correct.
The T&Tech, where up for the T&Tech oil.
4 billion.
They're using. I wonder how much Gonzales paying, how much light bill he paying. I wonder how much water bill he paying.
Correct.
We have thousands of people living in this country. They are eliminated from paying T&Tech.
Correct.
Water. Residents have, when the savannas that they have the floodlights on. I wonder if people know that we, part of paying that bill is in our light bill. Light bill we ain't done and we have to pay for the savannah light bill. Right? And these people just want to say, I got robbed and I got robbed. And I sure it's two skateboards they're holding on. There's two skateboards they're going down there and hold just to please the Alpin, you know. But God don't sleep, Santa.
God don't sleep.
He's funny pajamas, but he don't sleep. Thank you, Sai.
Thank you, my friend. So, viewers, while staying on tax, let me just talk about the $2.6 billion. Because tonight I want to ask a question. Central Bank refused to give Jayawanti Ramdas access to the check clearing system. Central Bank is affiliated with the Ministry of Finance. So, the Minister in the Ministry of Finance is clogging boot. I want to ask a question tonight. Did Colin Mbut got in touch with Central Bank Governor and told them to give no access to Jayawanti Ramdas? This is a question I am asking. And I believe Trinidad and Tobago needs clarity on this. If Central Bank is not giving Jayawanti Ramdas access to the check clearing system, who is the Auditor General, who could walk into any office owned by the state and do a check on it, she has been blanked from going to Central Bank. So I'm asking a question tonight. Is Colin Mbut communicating with the heads of Central Bank and telling them, do not allow Jayawanti Ramdas to check the check clearing system? Is a question I'm asking. Keep in mind, Central Bank blanked her. She have all rights to walk in that bank and check that system because that is a government business. So that is my question to you, Trinidad and Tobago, and also to Clongenboot. This one will have your heads spinning in a different direction. This one will have your head spinning in a different direction. Instead of we looking at why the bank blanking her, is Colin Mbut in communication with them? Hence the reason why she cannot access it to clear the $2.6 billion. Ask yourself that, Trinidad and Tobago. So tonight now, viewers, you're getting a different turn, a different spin of the wheel. I started it on Tuesday night, and I will finish it tonight. Is Colin Mbut in communication with the heads of Central Bank and telling them do not give access to Jaiwanti to check the check clearance system to verify if $2.6 billion went missing because of this system? This is a question. So if those in authority feel are labeling, no, come good, come damn good, come damn good, come damn good. Because there's a question I am asking on national television. And with $2.6 billion in taxpayers' money gone missing, somebody needs to answer. And the only person who could bring the answer for clarity across the board is Jaiwanti Ramdas. Where she bringing it from? From our State Department. Who have access to our State Department? Jaiwanti Ramdas. Why? Because she is the Auditor General for Trinidad and Tobago. So the lawyers, batten all your crease. Don't put all your jumping down on side. To the heads of government, batten all your crease. To the heads of central bank, batten all your crease. This is a question for Colin Imbo to answer. I'll tell you something. Long ago, people used to say, we're playing dead to catch Kobo alive. All I remember that? I remember those old time saying? Well, let me tell you something, That's in practice all now, That in practice all now. So there's a question for you, the citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, and a question for the Minister of Finance, Klungibut also, to clarify. And if the heads of the central bank wants to clarify it, well, all well and better. All well and better. But $2.6 billion will not slide under our noses, because we are on a blacklist for the EU, European Union. For what? Funding terrorists. Remember that Saieed says so. So viewers, we are out of time for tonight. But nevertheless, I just want to encourage you all. You know, you have your funds put down in whatever institution, financial institution, and you're not getting an interest rate that is suiting you. You're not getting your payment when you want it. Let me tell you something. We at Real Talk Finance, we are paying you up front on our fixed deposit. Up front. So, time out for tonight, but nevertheless, another day, another night, another time with Real Talk with Saieed. Until then, good night.